And I want to talk a bit more real quick about cell therapy, but even before I get to that, like that era, we you know, you part of history. Um, and I was wondering, was Goodie Mob present in New York when Outkast won the Artist of the Year at the Source Awards?
Oh yeah, we was there. You know,
What
we
what,
was
what
there.
was that setting like? Because that's like a legendary Source Awards. Get paint the picture of what it was, what you remember from that day.
To me, at that time, people got to understand. At that time, the world was not so advanced as it is now. You know, we only had one station that we all looked at during that time, and it was called BET. BET was doing these things called Source Awards. So people got to understand that this Source Award that we particularly showed up at, this was like the third Source Award. So it was still kind of primarily still new.
Yeah.
And I can't say this. This was the first time.
Hold on, hold
First
on.
time.
I don't hold on. Your volume just cut out, and I can't miss anything you say about this. Go ahead.
I said 95. 95 was the first time, 96, that year that we went to the Solar Source Awards. I think that was the first time that all of us got to see each other in the flesh. See, at that time, that was the emergence of everything. So you got Biggie Smalls dropping, then you got Snoop them dropping,
Yeah.
then you got Outkast dropping. You got to understand, Bad Boy. Our first tours was Goodie Mob, Outkast, with Biggie Smalls and Craig Mack. Those were our first tours. You know what I mean? Because we was on Airster, we was on LaFace, and they was on Bad Boy, but we all was on Airster.
Right.
So with that being said, like we hadn't seen Snoop them or Corrupt them. We knew Corrupt, but we hadn't seen all of them at their whole family in the flesh. We hadn't seen all the Wu-Tang in the flesh. Like that was the first time we got to see everybody in the flesh in the same room. And to tell you the truth, during that time, all of us were kids, all of us were young, 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 full of energy kind of cats. And it was like being in a prison yard with
Mm.
all different kind of like personalities and strengths and different groups. That's what it was like, because it was like all of us going there and saying who was the best that year. You know what I mean? Like you got 69 boys doing Tootsie Roll. You got so much going on during that night that you got the emergence of the South. You got the West Coast wanting their respect. You got New York wanting to have you wanted Brooklyn to get their respect for Bad Boy Harlem. Like it was, everybody just wanted their flowers. And I think, but what it really did, it made us go back home and say, okay, if they don't respect us now, they gonna respect us after we finish this. They gonna respect us, because when we go back home, we not gonna stop making music until we don't have no competition. And that's what we did.
And this thank you. This precedes the release of Soul Food just by a few months, I believe. That award show, and you're describing it like a prison yard. It's like a bunch of hostility. How were people looking at each other? Was it people sizing each
Yeah.
other up? What was that like? Because I know Big Boy and Andre 3000 were like almost booed a bit when they won the award. Like they weren't received well at that moment. Uh, and how did you guys?
When nobody was at that time. You know, I think nobody was at that time. I think we was feeling a certain type of way after we left, and we had a platinum album. They had a platinum album, you know what I mean? Biggie them left feeling a certain type of way. The West Coast left feeling a certain type of way. Wu-Tang from Staten Island left feeling a certain type of way. You know, a lot of people, I think we all just kind of grew up that day, because it was almost like we all talented. But one thing about it, you gotta you gotta beat the best to say you the best. You just can't say you the best. And when you look at, when we came back home, we made it a point to say, hey man, we gonna make music that nobody can put a ceiling on. We gonna do things that nobody doing. We never followed what nobody else was doing, and we never wanted to be nobody else but us. We just wanted our lifestyle, the way we do it, to be what the reason why we in the room. Not that we in here trying to sound like New York or trying to sound like the West Coast. We want to sound like us. And I think with that attitude, that is the reason why Atlanta, to this day, 20 years later, still the biggest market in hip hop, and you cannot stop it. Because at the end of the day, when we came back home, we raised our children. Everybody else, they just wanted it for themselves. That's why their cities died.
Mm.